Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we'll clearly understand what exactly is SR flip-flop and how do we implement or build the same with Verilog. We are going to go step by step, and we have already discussed what exactly is a D flip-flop and what is a T flip-flop. And this flip-flop is the next version and the next one that we need to learn, and we will learn it step by step. It's easy and I hope you will definitely like and understand. Well, what is it? SR flip-flop is expanded as set reset flip-flop. Set reset flip-flop. It has got three inputs as you can see in the figure here: S, R and clock. S is nothing but set, R is nothing but reset, C is nothing but clock. It has got two outputs, Q and Q bar. We'll have to remember one very important thing. Whenever clock is 0, the flip-flop can't do much and it just acts as a wire. Remember, when the clock is 1, it can give you meaningful output, which means that is when your flip-flop can work really as a flip-flop. When it is 0, when the clock is 0, it can't do much, it acts as a wire. Now let's recollect. S is nothing but set, R is nothing but reset. Can we go ahead with the truth table and then we will go ahead with the implementation with Verilog? It's very easy. First, we will consider case 1 where clock is all 0. Remember, set is yes, which can set anything to 1. R is reset, which can reset anything to 0, which means bringing to 1 is done by set, bringing to 0 is done by reset. Let's assume the previous state is 1 as well. This is traditional. We have been doing this for a long time. Let's assume the previous state as 1. That's it. Let's go into the truth table and we will understand and analyze step by step. First, the clock is 0, S is 0, R is 0. It will retain the previous state. When the clock is 0, it will retain the previous state irrespective of whatever be the value for R and S. Clock is 0, S is 0, R is 1. It will retain the previous state. Clock is 0, S is 1, R is 0. It will retain the previous state. Clock is 0, S1 and R1, it will retain the previous state. Just don't worry, whenever the clock is 0, it means that the previous state will be retained and it is a global rule that you need to follow. Just close your eyes and follow this rule and the output will be the previous state which is retained. That's it. Let's get into the state where clock gets to 1. Assume that the previous state is 1. Remember, the previous state is 1 and the clock is set to 1. Now, the clock is 1, S is 0, R is 0. It is not set, it is not reset. There is no indication for set or reset bit. So what will happen? It will retain the previous state. The previous state is 1 and it is retained. Now the clock is 1, S is 0, R is 1. R means a reset. So it will reset everything. So you get the output as 0 here, which is complemented as 1 here in the Q bar. Now clock is 1, S is 1 and R is 0. So 1 means set, so it sets, so the output is 1. So 1, when you complement it, you get 0. When clock is 1, set is 1, reset is 1. This is not at all an applicable condition and this is forbidden. You will not have this condition here properly met and this has to be forbidden. Remember it. Now we need to code. Let's recollect one very important point. Whenever clock is 0, the previous state is retained irrespective of whatever the values are for S and R. When the clock is 1, remember, when the clock is 1, if the S bit is set, it sets. When the clock is 1, if the reset bit is 1, which means if the reset bit is enabled, it will be reset. If both the bits are enabled, if both S and R are enabled, it has to be forbidden. Remember it. Right, let's go ahead to the code, and this is a very simple code that we have written here, and this is giving us a very nice output with which we can realize how exactly SR flip-flop works. Now, I've created a module and its name is SRFF. It has got SR clock, Q and Q bar. I've got SR clock as inputs, Q and Q bar as outputs. Output is Q and Q bar, input is SR clock. I need the output to be stored, so I use REG Q and Q bar. Now I do the initialization. The first state, I mean the current state that I need to store and initialize is 1. I have initialized that with 1 and Q bar obviously goes with 0. I need to begin and I need to end properly here. That's done appropriately. Now let's get into the main part of it. Always at the positive edge of the clock, which means my flip-flop will work only when it is positive edge triggered, which means only when it is 1 things work. Otherwise, it is not functioning as a flip-flop and it will stay just as a wire. Remember it. Now what will happen? I use a case here. It is just like switch case in C programming. I use a case here. S and R are followed. Now initially it is 0, 0. So what will happen when both S and R are 0? You see in this table, S and R are 0, clock is 1, it retains the previous state. That's the same thing that we do here. Q is Q, QB is QB. We retained it. Now S is 0, R is 1. S is 0, R is 1. What will be the status? S0, R1. So it resets. So you can see that here I go with the resetting option. I have reset it. Q equal to 0, Q bar equal to 1 because it's complemented. Now I go with set as 1 and reset as 0. Now Q is 1 and Q bar is 0. When both are 1, when both S and R are 1, that is a non-existent condition. So I put a don't care to show that. I properly close the case here with N case, and then I close the module properly with the N module. I close the begin with the end. All these are to be done appropriately, and this is very important. Now how do we go ahead with the test bench? The test bench is the same case that we have written for previous flip-flops. So you need to follow just that and it will be very easy for you to understand. I have created the module, I have wired, I have used registered properly for all what is to be done, and then I go with initial and I begin it. I display properly all this to get a nice output, and I use monitor to monitor the lines S, R, T, I mean clock, Q and Q bar. Whenever there is a change, I get that reflected immediately on screen, and that's what is presented out here. Now, what is the first case? The first case goes with clock as 0 and S and R as 0, 0. Second case goes with clock as 1 and S and R as 0, 0. Third case goes with clock as 0, S and R 0, 0. Fourth case, clock as 1, S is 0, R is 1. Similarly, I have tried out all the cases here. You can see that here clock is 0, S is set to 1, R is set to 0. Clock is 1, S is 1, R is 0. We have tried out all the possible combinations, and this is the output that we have got. Now we need to check if this output is really sensible and is meaningful. Now what will happen? Let's understand that. S is 0, R is 0, clock is 0. So what will be the understanding? Whenever clock is 0, close your eyes. Whatever be the value for S and R, forget it. Go ahead and retain the previous state. The previous state is 1 as per our assumption, and that's what I have given here in the code also. You can see that it is 1 here. That's the reason we get this 1 as output and Q bar is 0. Now S is 0, R is 0, clock is 1. The clock is enabled, but both S and R are 0, so nothing much there. It has to be retained. So 1 is retained and 0 is Q bar. Now S is 0, R is 0, clock is 0. You can see that S, R and clock all are 0. So previous state will be retained. I'm just trying out all the permutation and combination here so that you get the output properly understood for you. Now the fourth case, 0 for S, 1 for reset and clock is 1. When the clock is enabled, it can function as a flip-flop and it is reset. So what do? You reset. So the output is 0, 0 on complementing you get 1. The next case, set is 1, reset is 0, clock is 0. When clock is 0, what will happen? The previous case should be retained. So it is retained and its complement is 1. And now set is 1, reset is 0, clock is 1. So what do? We enable the clock and we also have S is 1, set 1. So we will get the set bit here, 1. 1 is the output and 1 bar is 0. Final case is here, all ones, which means set, reset 1 and clock also 1. This is a non-existent condition and this has to be forbidden and it won't work. So that's it. We have learned how exactly your SR flip-flop works. This is very easy and we will see if we get the correct output when we run it. I'm going to run it right now for you. I am compiling the files. I have compiled it. The name of the executable file is SRF, VVP ESRF. You can see that I got the output. We can test a couple of conditions quickly. The last one is easy to check. 111. When it is all ones, I think I compiled the wrong file. I picked up a wrong file for the compilation and now we have the correct file here and you can see that 111, all the 3 ones here, which means S and R are 1 and clock is also 1. So you get a non-existent condition and it's proven with an XX, which is don't care. Now let's go with the first condition. Set is 0, reset is 0, clock is 0. So it will retain the previous state. When clock is 0, it will retain the previous state irrespective of whatever be the value for set and reset. Can you go with the condition where clock is 1 and we will see with set 0, reset 1, clock is 1. So what will happen? It will reset. It has resetted properly and that's it. They have developed a very simple code for implementing the SR flip-flop and I hope you understood it clearly. If you have any queries on this, please let me know by typing it in the comment section. If you like the content, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for following my channel and content.